All right, guys, welcome to the session. Today, happy Friday. Today is 15th of November, 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so today we will cover, we will get into APAR. It won't be possible just to complete APAR today. We will get into AP, accounts payable. We will look into the steps. We will look into the configuration, master data, and then, setting up reconciliation accounts, and then post incoming invoice. Okay, so after the session, you will continue creating multiple vendors, multiple GL accounts, multiple reconciliation accounts, and post multiple invoices. Okay. And then when we come back, then we will talk about next week, we will post incoming payments. Okay. It is not new. There is a lot of other videos in my channel itself available for the incoming invoices that you can also refer to. But this is more of a interactive session. So, right? So let's do this.
Okay.
So vendor master data. So, like I said, you guys know what's the master data so far, right? Master data is something that you set up one time and then you continue using it.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, and vendor is also called supplier, and then account type is K. K for creditors. Vendors, creditors, supplier, they are the same. And then account type in SAP that we use is account type K. K for creditors. Okay. Now, the important concept here is there's a general ledger and sub ledger. Okay. In generally in accounting, they call it general ledger and sub ledgers. Okay. General ledger. What is general ledger and sub ledger? Sub ledger is basically general ledger is where you have postings captured in general ledger accounting.
Yeah.
GL. Now, what sub ledger means? The entries originate from here. And post into general ledger. So when I say that, sub ledger is like vendor, accounts payable is a sub ledger, right? AP.
Okay.
AR, fixed assets. These are called sub ledgers. Why they call it sub ledgers? Let's say you deal with a vendor. So you post incoming invoice, you post an outgoing payment, you clear the payment, you reconcile all the stuff. That happens in AP model, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And this happens in AR model. Like on the opposite, right? So you post outgoing invoice, incoming payment, and clearing, right? All the stuff that happens in accounts receivable model.
True.
And then fixed assets, similarly, there's a separate model in fixed assets where you deal with the acquisition, right? Fixed assets model, in acquisition and depreciation and settlement, revaluation and internal transfer, scrapping and selling, all this happens in fixed assets. Okay, so they are individual models by itself, right? In a FICO training, you have the GL, AP, AR, fixed assets, treasury, there's a lot of things, right? They're sub ledger.
Okay.
Everything that you do here, they have to impact general ledger because the reporting is done out of general ledger.
True.
Make sense?
Right.
So when you do financial reporting, your balance sheet account, your trial balance, your P&L statement, you will not have your vendors or customers listed there. Have anybody seen a financial statement in a profit and loss statement or balance sheet? In a balance sheet, you have receivables and payables. It will not tell you which is a customer, which is a vendor.
Right.
True. Yeah.
Make sense? So fixed assets will show you how much is a fixed asset. It does not tell you how much is individual fixed asset net book value.
Okay.
Yes.
Right? If you look at correct. Right? So that's how it is. Now, why they do this? Because they don't want to see all the details in general ledger. In general ledger, this guy will only get the balance.
Right.
True. Yeah.
Okay. So that's what it is. Now, in AP model, what are the things we would do? There's a bunch of things we do in accounts payable model. The accounts payable model, first thing, the transaction, when you look at the operations, you post incoming invoices, outgoing payments, and then clearing this entries, and then you use with the purchase order process, right? You create a purchase order, you receive goods, you receive invoices, and clear the GRIR, all this in the P2P process, right? And then any internal reclassing or writing off, cash discounts writing off, and then what else? Small differences, right? Exchange rate differences when you pay to the vendor, right? All this will happen in AP model.
Got it.
Similarly in AR model, all this will post the entry into general ledger account. Okay, how do you do this? Let's do this. So obviously, what is the accounting entry? When you buy something from a supplier?
Debit the asset.
Mm-hmm.
And accounts
Debit
payable.
what?
Credit.
Yeah,
Accounts
Debit
payable.
inventory,
Inventory, and credit accounts payable.
You debit inventory or expenses, right?
Yes.
Depending on what you buy. If you're buying raw material, it is a stock account, you debit the inventory.
Yes.
If you are paying for utilities, if you are buying some consumables, right, which is called consumables. There's a difference between consumables and inventory. You guys know about this?
Consumables are things that have an expiration date.
So consumables are something. Let's say you have a you're running a company, okay, right? And then inventory is a balance sheet. Basically, you buy inventory, which means it's for future use.
Okay.
You store it, right? It's a stock,
Yes.
right? You can sell it tomorrow and get the money back, right?
Right.
Whereas you spend for your pizza, you spend for your, let's say, some party, in a company go live party, or you're buying consulting services. Okay, the company is paying Kevin some money for his consulting services. That is an expense, right?
Right.
Yes.
You cannot store this, right?
No, you can't. Yeah.
Right.
Right. So I give another good example. Let me ask you this. So you are buying machinery for your company. Okay, you're buying a machinery for your company.
Right.
So the machinery cost is 100K. Okay. Right? When you buy this machinery, you have to pay for the shipping. You're buying this machinery from China. Okay, shipping cost 1K. When you buy this machinery, the shipping cost is 1K. It's coming from China. So you bought the machinery. And then before install, you have to buy insurance. Insurance, let's say you pay 2K per annum. Okay.
Okay.
And then before installation, you are saying that installation, you have to spend money for installation. Okay, that costs about 2K. For installation, the guy is saying that, you know what, the machine is coming raw. You have to paint the machine before you install, right?
Okay.
Makes sense, right? Corrosion paint. Otherwise, the machine will spoil. It spends another 2K. Now, tell me what is the value of the machinery in your books? Because it's asset, right? Machinery is asset.
Okay.
What is the net book value? What is acquisition value? You know what the acquisition value, right? Of the machinery. Tell me what's the acquisition value of this machinery. Tomorrow you are selling this machinery, right? How much you sell it for? And yeah.
At least 107,000.
I'm sorry, how much?
I mean, at least 107. This is what you have costs all in.
Correct. So you're right. It depends, right? If the machine is not available here locally, you always have to buy from China, right? Then you can add this to the machinery, like capital cost. So the reason I'm asking this, what is capital cost? What is the expenses? Okay, that's what I'm trying to get here. What is called CapEx? There's something called CapEx and OpEx.
Okay.
Capital expenses versus operation expenditure.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Capital expenditure meaning you spend money and you continue to derive usage out of it or benefits out of it. Like a machinery, you buy a machinery and then you continue get benefits
Right.
out of this next 10 years. Similarly, when you buy inventory, raw material, you continue to receive and make goods out of the raw materials.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Whereas OPEX is something that you spend and the money is gone, like consulting services.
Got it.
Got it.
Okay, this is called expenses. This is a big concept in any big companies.
Okay.
CapEx versus OPEX. So when you buy a machinery, it's a CapEx.
Mm-hmm.
When you buy a long-term assets, it's called CapEx.
Okay.
Because CapEx, why is so important? To buy a CapEx, company needs to budget. They just can't just like that go and buy, right? They got a budget. Next year, I'm going to buy a machinery. Next year, I'm going to build a plant. Next year, I'm going to buy a, a transportation truck. So that's all CapEx.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be budgeted. OPEX could be also budgeted, but it's just day-to-day operations.
Okay.
Got it? Now, the reason I'm asking this question is, you should be able to know what the capital cost, what's the expenses, and what goes to balance sheet, what goes to P&L account. Okay?
Got it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Expenses go to P&L account.
Yep.
Correct. Inventory goes to the balance sheet account.
Yeah.
Right.
Make
Right.
sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anything that has a stored value, in a simple term, anything that has a stored value, you buy a jewelry,
Mm-hmm.
right? You buy gold, it is an asset. It is not an expense,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it has a stored value. Tomorrow you can sell it. It appreciates, depreciates, right? You can pawn it. You can do whatever you want. The money is still there.
Yes.
Now you take the jewelry every year and then you go and polish it because it doesn't look good, so you polish it. When you polish it, that's an expense, right? It doesn't add to the value of the gold.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Makes sense.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It does not increase the value because you polish it, right?
Yeah. Right. Makes
So
sense.
expense, that's called operations. So in order to maintain it, you have to do this. That's called expense.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So similarly, when you spend $100K for the machinery, shipping cost, if this machinery is not locally available, then you can add this to your capital cost.
Capital cost 101. Yeah.
Yes, because if Kevin has to go and buy the machine, he still has to spend the money, 1K for shipping.
Mm-hmm.
True.
When I'm selling this machinery to somebody, I can argue, boss, even if you go and buy this machine, you still have to spend 1K for shipping.
Yes.
So I would rather add this to my machinery cost, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, insurance, what is it called? Can I add this to the machinery cost?
No,
No. That's it.
it's a
Expense.
separate
Correct.
expense. Yeah.
Yeah, because insurance is an expense.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you are taking insurance to protect your assets.
True.
Okay, so it's an expense. Now, installation. What is called installation? Can we add this to the machinery cost or expenses?
Expenses.
Depends. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly, right? Expenses. Because when I sell this machine, nobody's going to pay for this because who asked you to install the machine, right?
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you install the machine for your own benefit. So I'm not going to pay for this.
True.
So you cannot add this to the capital cost of this machine. Okay.
Got it.
Now painting cost.
Expense.
Expense.
Yep.
Yes, it could be. It's arguable. It could be an expense because even though Kevin buys this machine, he still has to paint it. But I already painted it, so I can ask for some money, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's arguable. Depends, right? So that's the main difference between capex and opex. The capex goes to balance sheet, opex goes to your P&L. Make sense?
True.
Yep.
Right. So when you buy, this is accounting entry, right? So debit inventory or expenses, or you credit the vendor. If you use the purchase order process, okay, in a simple accounting entry. In P2P, if you use purchase order, PO, okay, or they call it PO-based invoices. They call it, what do you call it?
PO-based invoices.
Okay.
They call it PO-based invoices. When you do purchase PO-based invoices, first thing what you do is you receive the debit inventory or expenses and credit the vendor. Now, this case, you don't credit the vendor. When you're using PO-based invoices, this case, you don't credit the vendor, you credit GRIR clearing.
Got it.
Okay, so GRIR clearing is interim account. Okay, why? Let's say, take a situation. In a companies, when they want to buy assets, okay, it is not simple. They just go to the store and buy, right? They have to have budget. They have to talk to the purchasing, the procurement department, and then they will look at who are the vendors supplying this, okay? The shipping, the freight terms, everything is okay. When would they need it? Can they deliver this? There's a lot of things go into this. Then only they place an order, purchase order, okay? Now, in a big company like Coca-Cola, when they buy asset, where do they deliver, right? The procurement department might be sitting in Manila or Puerto Rico or Costa Rica, right? The procurement department who issues the purchase order.
Right.
True. Yeah.
So when they issue the purchase order, they should know where the goods are going to. They will tell in the purchase order, they will mention that, okay, this has to be shipped to a location in Atlanta, a location in Franklin Park, a location in Phoenix, Arizona, or whatever it is, right? Because that's where they need.
Yes.
A plant needs sugar, 100 tons of sugar, Now, when they order to some supplier in Cuba or, whatever it is, then they said, okay, ship this to my factory in Bakersfield. That's what they do, right? Now, in the Bakersfield, there's a warehouse. The warehouse clerk receives the goods.
Yes.
Okay? When he receives the goods, he doesn't care how much you buy for. That's not his job, right? He does not know the price. All he cares about is the quantity.
True. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
His job is not to see, okay, how much we bought it for, why are we spending so much money, we could buy cheaper. That is not his job, right? His job, when the truck comes in, he looks at the order, purchase order, and then he says, okay, these are the quantities we ordered, this is as per the specification, this is what we required, this is what we wanted in the purchase order. He takes the goods inside, okay? When he takes the goods inside, that's called good receipts.
The warehouse manager, so to speak.
Yeah, clerk or somebody in the warehouse.
Yeah.
So he goes to SAP and debit the inventory, which is a sugar, raw material, and then credit the GRIR clearing. When he posts a good receipts, this entry automatically appears. When he posts a good receipt, that's called MIRO. There's a transaction code called MIRO.
Okay.
Now, after that, the vendor, maybe from Cuba or from whatever it is, right, maybe locally, he will send the invoice to the headquarters, or they will send it to the AP department, right? It could be in offshore, it could be in Bangalore, wherever it is. When the invoice goes to the purchasing department, when the invoice goes to the AP department, then they will credit the vendor and debit the GRIR clearing. This is for the amount because they are receiving the amount. Okay. Then they post this transaction code is called the MIGO. Okay.
Okay.
And why they do that? Because in the warehouse, they have no control over the warehouse. How much they receive, they wouldn't know, right?
True.
We issued a purchase order for 100 tons of sugar. Whether the GR, the goods received posted for 50 tons, 20 tons, we don't know, right? We can look at the purchase order, but that's not my job. I can just wait until I receive the invoice. When I receive the invoice, I go to the purchase order, I post an invoice. When I post an invoice, system will automatically and see whether we receive the goods or not, right?
Yeah.
If we don't receive the goods, I don't want to pay to the vendor, correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
System will automatically block the invoice.
True. Yeah.
If there is any difference between the GRIR quantity in this invoice quantity, let's say you receive 20 tons of sugar, but he is sending for 30 tons of sugar invoice, the system will automatically cancel it.
Yeah, cancel it.
Yeah.
The system will automatically block it. Correct? Now, once everything is clear, once we have the correct invoice received, let's say you received 100 tons of sugar and the invoice also 100 tons of sugar, then the GRIR clearing will knock off because it's a debit and credit.
Got it.
It is knock off, then the vendor will be free for payment. Make sense?
Yep.
So this is called GRIR clearing. So we saw the open item management, right? The same process in the GRIR clearing.
Got it.
Right? Now now we will go into this in the next sessions. Okay. But when I talk, I just keep talking. But this one is what we're going to say.
Okay.
Simple accounting entries. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's do this. As a first step, we were going into this SPRO to make the settings.
Reference.
All right. So I'm going to go into the APAR, accounts receivable, accounts payable.
Okay.
Once again. So it's a, excuse me, sorry, I was on another call. So this is define account groups. So same story, right? So when we for GL accounts, remember we created account groups.
Yes.
And then what is the purpose of account groups?
Account groups.
Can somebody tell me what's the purpose of account groups?
Let me see what you're attaching is how can I visualize this? Account groups. What is that?
Come on, guys.
Knowing the number ranges?
Okay, and?
Account group controls the number range and used to identify the
The
designation.
document type, say.
No. What's the use of account groups?
I mean, the purpose of account groups, I guess, is to like for being having those, I guess, those costs associated under one in one group or one entity. Or so like it's associated like a chart of account. So it's going to be attached to that source.
Okay. So I mean, one answer is it controls the number ranges. Okay. What's the number two? What's the other one? Okay.
It affects how master
Go ahead.
records are created.
The sleep status.
It prevents other costs being.
So we'll have to also give the field status variance to know the status of the fields. Yeah.
So account groups, you have to write it down, and these are basic stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't remember this, it's really sad. So One is number ranges. Okay, I can identify, right? I can assign number ranges for each of my account groups.
Yes.
Similarly, when I'm creating a master data, I can control what fields I want it to be populated.
Got it.
When I'm creating a master data, okay?
Okay.
Makes sense? Similarly, account groups, for vendors is the same thing, right? You create account groups and number ranges, and then you do the field status group.
Yes.
Field status. Now, what is the purpose of account groups? Can you tell me what is the purpose of account groups? Why do you do this? Tell me some examples or scenarios how we can make use of this.
So segregating, grouping of similar accounts in one single group.
And what is the purpose? How does it help?
So
Control the
It controls the costs that are going to those
data.
groups, that group.
Yeah, so what is the purpose? Let's say if I'm going to create a group here, why would I create it? What is the purpose? How does it help the company? How does it help the accountant? How does it help you? How does it help me?
It controls the chart
yeah,
of
it controls the user group, maybe.
accounts.
Well,
It's used to classify the customers into business partner functions.
it's like a source of reference, being able to for the accountants to be able to source costs, or I guess
There's
whatever.
no cost here. Can I,
Well, I mean,
this is the third time you
well,
mentioned
no,
the word cost. There's no
my
cost. Okay.
mistake.
And also account groups control the customer hierarchy.
Okay. You saw this here. Right. Come on, guys. So you look at this idea, right? Vendors, good supplier, alternate payee, ordering address, a lot of them, one-time vendors, right? So basically, in a company, they have 10,000, 20,000 vendors. Okay.
Yes.
The company will have, like I told you, right? The company will have 2,000 GL accounts, and they have to be grouped so that they can have a different number ranges, so that they can identify what is the GL account. By looking at the GL account, they would know what is this for, right? Similarly, for vendors, okay, this is really, really basic, okay? This is very, very basic. That's the reason I stopped giving training to people. Okay. But anyways, just laughing. Nothing to do with you. So, you define, let's say they get 20,000 vendors in a company, and then you define them like, you group them basically, right? Type by type of vendors, international vendors, domestic vendors, right? Wholesale vendors, office stationery supplier vendors, and blah, blah, all this stuff. And the reason, obviously, you have a specific number range. And number two, control number ranges, right? The field status. Let's say government vendors. So I'm a ATA registered small business to the state of California. Okay, I'm supplied to state of California, some consulting services. I can create a different group for government vendors. Then I can add California, Minnesota, Texas, and all the vendors. Okay.
True.
And then they all will be posted to one GL account. All the vendors can be posted to one general ledger account. It's called reconciliation account. Okay.
Okay.
Make sense? So I'm basically grouping a vendor, and then there's a fun number. Second thing is field status. For example, for a government vendor, they may not have a tax ID. They may not have this detail. They may not have that details, right?
True. Yeah.
So in the master data, I don't keep this field open.
True.
Right? Some vendors, maybe overseas vendors, for them, I have to keep them some information like, their tax ID, their, international bank account numbers, all this stuff. So I create a separate group for them.
True. Yeah.
It's all to facilitate. See, SAP is what? To facilitate, run the business.
Yes.
Right? So what do they do day to day? Like I think I told you, right? In Coca-Cola, the procurement department has 1,800 people. What do they do? Right? It's huge. You have to think in terms of huge. Big scale. Expand your thought. Go after it. Okay, ask questions.
True.
Right? Have you seen in Costco, like 10 years ago, you will find pallets everywhere. If you go to parking lot, you will find pallets everywhere. Right? those days are gone. Like if you go to Ralph's or grocery store or Walmart, you will find everywhere there's a lot of pallets. You know what's called pallets?
Lot.
Right.
Yeah.
No, pallets. The forklift come and lift the where
Got
you
it,
stack
got
the
it.
goods.
Yeah. The
Got it.
pallets.
Mhm.
The wooden pallet, yeah.
Mhm.
Now you don't see them anymore.
Right.
You go to any grocery store or Costco, Walmart, you don't see them.
Mhm.
Tell me why.
Okay.
all this, I've learned, talking to people, and I had, jump into some meetings. I call into the meeting, some stupid meetings. I thought it was a stupid meeting. All this thing I've learned, working in a company.
Mhm. Yeah.
Then, the USPS truck. Do you know this? Anybody knows this? The USPS trucks, when they wait in the traffic, they don't wait in the traffic. They take a right turn. Do you know that?
No.
No. Mhm.
There is a somebody did a PhD and they proved that taking more right turns will make them reach faster the destination.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So
Okay.
the USPS truck bought this idea and they spent a lot of money and they found that making more many right turns will make them destination faster. That's why for them time is money. They have to deliver, right? They don't, instead of waiting in the traffic, they take a right turn, they go to the next route.
Okay.
Okay? And the way the route is planned, a guy is leaving, today a USPS guy is leaving, he has a route. He has a route like one whole day, right?
Yes.
When he leaves from San Bernardino, he has a route. They
Okay.
know this, making more right turns instead of left turns. Okay, instead of waiting in the traffic, they immediately take a right turn so that they get their destination faster. That is proved.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
Okay. All right.
There's another thing I think I shared to some of the people already here. In Walmart, they did a research. People buy beers, okay?
Mhm.
When the people buy beers, when they look at all the inventory, all the sales items, there's one item they always buy along with beer. So they send promotions to the guys of that product who's buying beer, okay?
Mhm.
They found out that a guy, it's actually done in UK. UK, there's a big grocery store, TSO, some TSA or something.
Okay.
Maybe it's
Tesco.
not relevant in US, but in UK, they proved that if you buy, somebody's buying a beer, that's one more thing they always buy. Most likely they buy another item. So they send samples or coupons of that product to the guys who buy beers. Anybody can guess what it is?
Some meat item? I'm not sure.
No.
Not side dish.
What's that?
She thought side dish for beer.
Side dish, yeah.
Mm, I thought
Diaper.
Anand should know because Anand, when you were here, I told this example.
Diaper.
Okay, baby diapers. So Anand was here when I was telling this.
Okay.
Baby diapers.
Okay. I would never guess.
Right?
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, nobody could guess, right? So they couldn't figure out why. Okay. So all this we have to talk to the business people to understand this, right? It's very interesting. I searched for this information even today. Why McDonald's is number one? Why Walmart is number one? Why Costco is number one? What is the unique selling? What is the unique selling? What do they do? Right?
Mhm.
How could Walmart sell for so cheap? Right? How could McDonald's from Turkey to to Thailand, they have the same product, same taste? How is possible?
They have ingredients
Right?
that is set. Yeah.
Correct. But where they procure from Thailand, water is different from Turkey. Water in Turkey, right? They taste different. The biryani you make in here in US is different from Pakistan, right?
True. Yeah.
The ingredients they grow in Pakistan is different from here, right? There's a lot of differences.
True. Yeah.
How they make it, right? How they make it uniform. So they spend so much money to make it standardized,
Yeah.
right? So all this thing, when you talk to business, I really, want you guys to read more and more, like Entrepreneur Journal, business magazines, and you're going to support the business.
True. Mhm.
When you're in a meeting, all these things should go in your mind.
Got it.
Common sense, right?
Mhm.
Business is not an art. It's also not a science.
So why do people buy diapers instead of?
I know that they proved it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's surprising, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, anyways, see, when I talk, I just talk. Sorry.
Okay.
So this is why we group the customers. We account the vendors.
Got it.
Okay. So you define them by, you group them by domestic vendors, international vendors, and government vendors, and all this stuff. So then you can assign different number range, and then you can also have a separate field statuses for each vendor master data. Okay. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create okay. So I'm going to create a new account group. Let's call it account groups, number ranges, field status. I think you would remember now, right?
Yes.
Field status. 1 second. I just hang up the phone by mistake. I joined it. Okay. So I'm creating one NRFS group, control number ranges and field status, so that you will remember. I could just put international vendors or government vendors, but my point is to make you remember. Okay. Now I'm going to go to expand field status. This is a field status. In general data, for this customer, let's say I don't want to see the address. I want to see, all this detail. I don't want to see, all of them, right? I don't want to see room number. Why would I have room number? I don't want to suppress. I don't want to see this, right? Comments, time zone, delivery district, street number 4, structure grouping. I don't want to, lobby, PWorks lobby, delivery. I can hide them, right?
True.
Right. Now save this. When I save this, it is going to save. Now company code data. Again, account management. I don't want to see cash managing group. I don't want this. I don't like this head office. I don't like this. I don't like to see the minority indicator. Personal number, gross income tax, all this stuff. So I can suppress them, so that when the customer, when they create the master data, they will not be confused. Otherwise, they will call, hey, Anila, what is this? What would I do in this information? He's asking, a bunch of information. What would I do, right?
True.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So ABC indicator, I don't even know what is ABC indicator. I don't want a salesperson, minimum order value, input terms, and control pricing, rack crowd, jobbing, price marking, pricing hierarchy. They're just confusing, right? So when I create this account group, when I, in the initial implementation, you have to work with your AP department and says what information you need when they maintain the master data or not. Okay.
True.
Now I create this NR for us. What next? It has to have a number range.
Yes.
Okay. Now here, define account group, and then there is another assign number ranges to vendor account groups.
Oh, okay.
It's a 2-step process, whereas in GL account, I think it is 1-step process. When you know that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's account group I created?
AC. FS was the last one.
Yeah, me too. FS for
The last part.
NRFS.
NRFS.
So what's the use of account groups? Number ranges and field status.
Field status.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put the number range here. Let's say I can use any number range here, right? I can just put 03, or I can create a new one. Okay, 03 is what? number range not defined by vendors. So maybe somebody deleted it. Somebody deleted this. Don't worry. Okay, 03 is my number range. So it is just a range, right? I don't know what actual number I will get, right? It's a right. So here there's a 3-step process: create number ranges. So SAP is really funny, it's not very uniform. Anyway, I have this 3 here. I already have 3. Okay. But again, I don't like this 300 to 399, right? So you think a company will have only 99 vendors?
Yeah, more than 50, 30, 50.
Right. So I like to keep this, right? 7 series.
Yeah.
A1. Now, if I create this, what number I will get?
7,000.
What's the next number? What?
The NR status based on that.
Exactly, right? When I create a master data, I'll get 700011. Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get a A11. So I'm going back and assign number ranges. I put A1. Change this to A1. Now my FRS, sorry, not this one. That's what's my account group?
NRFS.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put A1. Wait, save this. Great. So I'm all set now. Now what I can do, I can go and create a master data, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it. So create another session. Okay, account group. I'm going to create a master data. The transaction code for creating a vendor is FK01.
FK01. Okay.
FK01. Okay. And what is the change?
FK02.
It's 02, yeah.
And what is the display?
FK03.
Exactly. Okay. Now, why there's a K here?
Customer.
Vendor.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
The customer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, what is the transaction code to create a customer?
Customer would be D. FD01.
Good. See? And what is to change?
FD02.
02.
And what is to display?
FD03.
Correct. Right. Now,
Yeah.
FK10N is for balance display. Is for vendor balance display.
Right.
Okay.
Now, what is this for customer?
FD10N.
Exactly. See?
Mm-hmm.
Very easy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, very easy if we keep reading.
Yes.
Right. So, what's the transaction code? FK01. So, what's my company code? 333. And account group is?
NRFS.
NRFS.
Why is NRFS? Why is
Number range,
NRFS?
field status.
Correct. Number range. Very good. Now I'm going to create a vendor. Hit enter. When I hit enter, why is showing internal?
No.
So when I'm creating a vendor, it is going to take a number from here, right? You know that.
Right. Exactly. Okay.
It is going to take a number from here, which is A1, right? From here,
Got it.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now
So
it's
it's
not
internal.
created yet. It is not created yet. Only when you hit save, it will take the number. Otherwise, it's an internal. Make sense?
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Right now, it is just trying to create. It did not create yet. Only when you hit the save button, it goes and takes the 700011. Make sense?
Got it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So vendor master data.
So it's like a template now, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Look at the internal name number. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure you guys remember most of them. Okay.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Number will be generated after saving. Okay.
Got it.
Search term, you want to put some search term, that's fine. The country code, obviously US, and then street house number, you can do whatever you want. Okay. And all this stuff, region, it's not mandatory field, whereas this is mandatory field. See? Right? Look at the check button, that means mandatory, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So PO box, I don't have to create this. Now, look at this. There are multiple screens in selection screen. Hit here.
Mm-hmm.
This is not allowing. So I'm going back here. Yeah. It said the use of the last 5 characters in the field name 2 is restricted to 37 or 40. The use of the last 5 characters in the name field name 2. This is name 2. Use of the last 5 characters in the field name 2 is restricted to 37 or 40. I don't know what it's saying.
Characters.
That's okay. It's a warning.
Of characters, maybe.
Yeah, it's a warning message anyways. What I can do, I can say shut up. Let it go up. Again, enter. I'm going next screen, right? So this is the important guy here.
Mm-hmm.
So in some situation, you have both vendor and customer as the one person. You buy and sell.
Got it.
Okay.
In that case, if you have a customer, you put the customer number here. Make sense?
Got it.
And how does it help? It helps you to reconcile. You don't have to pay. I don't have
True.
to pay. Just reconcile. Come here.
True.
Right?
Yeah. It cancels off finally without
Exactly.
paying anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. That's perfect. Good. So the tax information again, I could have hidden all this, right? But you know the story, how you can hide this, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You can hide this.
Right?
Status. Yeah.
Correct. You know, yeah, date of birth and sex, nobody wants to know, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can hide this. Then next screen. This is the bank details. Okay. If you want to put the vendor bank detail, you can put it here. Okay. Now, you know, we don't want this, the contact person. Who is the contact person of the vendor? If you want to add, you can add them here. Now, recon account. This is very important key. So this is where we come into where the subledger integrates with the GL.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So here, this is just a vendor number, right? It's just a number. But in order to post into accounting, it has to have a GL account number, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That is also called recon account or control account. We call it recon account or control account. So for master data, every master data is tied to a control account or a GL account or a recon account, which is created in the chart of accounts as a recon account. Okay.
So this is so that it's tied to the subledger, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the 333, I did not create. When you guys work on it, you create them, but I'm going to use one of them from here. So I go open this. Okay. When I open this, see, system is only showing, even though my chart of account has a lot of entries, it's only showing one account.
All right.
Okay. Sundry creditors. See, it's only selecting the creditors. System knows that you are creating a vendor.
Got it.
So this is important. Now, anytime I post to this account, post to the vendor, my GL account will get a posting. This guy waits for posting. Okay.
Okay.
Now, next, payment terms. You want to put the payment terms? Yes, I can put payment terms. Easy. Then payment methods. Which one? How you want to pay to the vendor? Okay. All this stuff. You want to block this guy for payment? Yes, you can do it. Right now, it's free for payment.
Okay.
Okay, dunning procedures, you don't want this. Okay, that's pretty much it is. Now it's everything is done. Do you want to save? Yes. Account already exists. So it cannot create. Why it says account already exists?
Exists.
The number range has been used.
No. So what happens is system is trying to create the next number range, 11.
Yeah.
Okay, but however, in the same company code, somebody already created 11.
Oh.
That's a conflict. In actual matter of fact, it won't happen. How this happens? Because people play with the number ranges. They probably created something 11 and they deleted this.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because it's
So
not
they
there.
probably created a range here and they deleted it, and then so now this is a problem.
Okay.
So what I can do now?
12. Maybe use.
Hmm?
Oh.
This is a good example. What can I do now?
So you have to get back in and create a new range for this particular account group.
You can, but I like to keep the same number range. What can I do now? Anybody? It's a very interesting question.
If I know where it's been used for, search it.
Where is the 711? It's not created yet. Not in my company code, but it's a very interesting question. This happens.
Yes.
It's a real-time scenario.
Yeah.
What can we do? So where's my spawn series 50 number name? Where's the number here? Yeah, see 1, 2, 3, 4 is already created. Okay, but we are trying to create 11 though, right? Why it's
Yeah.
saying it should exist? Strange. Okay. It's not been created. Any ideas? So a system is saying that it's 1111 is created, but system is also trying to create the same number, 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the number in next number range, right? It is taking the next number from here. But system is saying it's already created. Okay,
True.
what can I do? Okay, system really slow. It's already 1 o'clock. Any ideas? Okay.
Change
So
range. I don't know.
actually, yeah, there's numbers. Yeah, 11 is already created in some language. Yeah, long time ago. So next is 7016 is what I can create, right?
Yeah.
70016.
Mm-hmm.
So what I can do here, so this all happens in real time. Okay, so what I can do here, change it. I can change this to, if I can change this to 7700. So it's
17 or something. Yeah.
right. See, now it's showing 15. It was showing 11, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was showing 10.
Now
Now
it's
it's showing
showing
15.
15.
I guess something is changing. I don't know. Let's try to create now. Okay, I think it should be
Okay.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think it did not update it correctly, the table. Okay, let's do it now. Now if we go back and create it. So anyways, in a matter, what they can do is they can change the status here.
Or
So I can go
directly
back
over
here,
there.
right?
Okay.
Yeah. Here I can change the number in status. You can put 20, it takes 20.
Got it. Okay.
Make sense?
Got it.
This is the solution.
Okay.
My next number will be 20, right? 21 or 20, let's see. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it, Kevin?
That makes sense. Makes sense.
Everybody got it?
So instead of changing the range, just change the number range status.
Correct.
Mhm.
So same story, right? USD, then go back. I don't have a customer. Bank. The main thing is recon account here. This is very important. So pretty much I can say, So what number I will see? 20. See? Oh,
Yeah.
21.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this number becomes 21, which is this number range maintenance. We go here now. Oh, it's not updating. Why did it jump to 25? Somebody creating it? I don't know. It's funny. It was 15, now 25. What's happening? Oh, I changed it, right? I changed it to
You
20.
had changed it. You had changed to 20. Yeah.
Yeah, then it said 25. I guess it's probably creating more. 1 second.
Is one creating?
And I created 21. See?
Mm-hmm.
But the
Yeah.
number jumped to 25. I am so strange. Yeah, see? I don't know. I'm sure that could be a reason, but I don't want to spend my energy now.
You can maybe run a report or something. And figure out.
Right. Okay, now we created this guy, right?
Yeah.
So next thing, what we're going to do, we're going to post a incoming invoice. The transaction code FB70. I guess, no, FB60. See, enter incoming invoice for the company code ACE333. Okay.
Okay.
So ACE, company code ACE, but we are posting it to 333. So here I can change the company code, switch company code, see? 3333, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to select vendor. So now you guys can work on the same company code, 333 or ACE, okay?
Okay.
So this is a vendor I created, and the invoice date is, let's say, that's the difference between invoice date and posting date. You guys know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between invoice date and posting date? So invoice date is the document that's coming in. The vendor is sending me an invoice that has a date of yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm posting it, I want this to post today, so this is my posting date in the system. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This is the incoming document date. This is the posting date of when I want the system to be recorded in my system, and this entry should be recorded in the system. Make sense?
Yep.
That's I'm receiving an invoice for $6130. Okay. Enter. Now, why is the reference field is mandatory? See, for document type KR, an entry is required in the field reference number. For document type KR, an entry is required in the field reference number. Why?
An entry is required in the field reference because it's an invoice number that we need to write in there, right?
Correct. Why? Who made this? Why it's automatically asking? Why not this field? Why not this field? Why not the other fields? Right? Why?
Because
the field status.
Mandatory setting.
Why?
Yeah, in account types, we had made it.
Mandatory setting.
Yeah.
Where?
Sorry, in document type. Yeah.
Exactly. In document type.
You had made it reference. You had ticked it. Yeah.
Reference field is mandatory, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to invoice number, incoming invoice number. This is the invoice number in the customer, the vendor. Hit enter. Net due date on is in the past. Okay. It's saying that the net due date of this invoice is in the past. The reason is saying that this vendor, I put the payment terms as immediate.
Okay.
Enter. It's taking me to the next screen. Okay.
Okay.
I was in the basic data. It's taking me to the next screen. Here, it's asking header data is also mandatory. See, for document type KR, an entry is required because we made mandatory in the required in the document type. Okay. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The document type. Okay, great. This is all we have here. And then GL account. Let's say I'm buying an inventory. Okay, I'm selecting a GL account here. GL account. Or I'm buying in expenses. Okay, or I'm posting expenses. Let's say advertising. Okay. Okay, I receive an invoice from a vendor who is sending invoice for the advertising. Right?
Okay.
How much is the money?
No.
6130.
6130.
Yeah.
I entered here, right? Yeah, enter.
You had entered. Yeah.
What is this guy saying now?
Requires
Let's
an
see.
assignment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, we posted to this account several times, and I asked you the same question. Come on, guys.
But what is the question, Jay?
Here, look at this here.
Not
Why
coming.
why having this issue?
Because you have to cost center.
Correct. Because it needs a cost center.
Oh,
It's
cost
next
center.
one.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be at the bottom of the screen? Can we see like a reason why? 'Cause I can't see the bottom of the screen. for some reason.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, I can't see it.
I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to put a cost center here.
That's an expense, right?
Yeah, that's an expense. I'll save. Okay. Hit the save button. Let's see what happens. 6600 was posted in company code 333.
Okay.
Now the document is posted.
Got it. Mhm.
So now I posted an incoming invoice. Okay. Now what I want you to do is you will post multiple entries, but
Okay.
however, when I create a vendor master data, okay, let's go there later. Now I want to look at the invoice. Okay, FB03 for display document, right?
Yes.
Hit enter. 666666 2019. I hit enter. So I will look at the document. Okay, vendor credit, debit expenses, posted to cost center.
Okay.
So cost center and profit
Profit.
center.
Okay.
Cost center because the expense has to post to a cost center. Make sense?
Yeah,
This
makes
is
sense.
the header. These are two line items.
Got it. This is both the customer and the vendor, right? At the same time.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. Hey, no. This is just no. There's no customer. Only vendor.
Only vendor. Okay.
We did not link the customer vendor. Okay.
Okay.
We did not link it. Now
You
here
did
I'm
not
going
link
back
it.
here.
Okay. Mhm.
Right. Now what's the transaction code for GL balance display?
FS10N.
No. NFBL3N.
I'm sorry. What is that?
Oh, FBL3N.
Oh, that's line item display. Then I'm talking about balance display.
Balance.
Balance
And
from line item. Yeah.
FS10N.
And why it's FS10N?
F is for
It's for the chunky
Exactly.
balance.
full
Or
status.
the balance
Yeah.
display.
S is for GL account.
Yeah.
The same transaction FS. Okay.
FS. Okay.
Okay. Now what I want you to do is now you guys posted this transaction. Run the balance. Go to FK10N. Run for the vendor. Okay.
Okay.
FK10M transaction
Mhm.
code and look at the balance for this vendor 70021. The
Okay.
transaction code is FK10M
Okay.
and run the report. Number one.
Got it. Mhm.
This is 34. See?
Mhm.
It's a credit balance. Now also run FBL 1N, right? FBL 1N, which is a vendor balance display.
Okay.
Line item display. Okay? This is a line item display. There's a difference between line item and balance display, right? Balance just shows one chunky balance. Line item shows all the individual line items.
Okay.
Okay?
For vendor though, right? FBL
This is
1N.
for vendor.
Okay.
Correct. Vendor, this line item display, it's open.
Okay.
Make sense?
Got it. Mhm.
Now, similarly, we can also do this for FS10N balance for the balance sheet account. Sorry, for the expense account, FS10N for the advertising account, which is 400,707. 400,707.
So that's a GL balance account,
Balance
right?
display.
Okay.
Correct. So in the month of August, I posted to 6130, which is a debit balance because expenses are debit.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So this is what you're going to post. You're going to create 10 vendors and post 10 invoices. Okay.
Okay.
You can use 333 company code or whatever company code you're using. You can continue using it. Create account group, number ranges, master data, FB60, all the good stuff.
Okay.
Now, one thing I did not teach you before is how to create a reconciliation account. Right?
Yeah.
Reconciliation account. So you have to create a reconciliation account. Okay. When you create a reconciliation account, you know how to create GL accounts, right?
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're going to create a reconciliation account. Now I don't know what account group you use, but so one more thing I want to show you here. This is the document I posted. This is the vendor number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When I double click here, this is a vendor number, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. This is a GL account number. It posted to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is the reconciliation account. Okay.
Okay.
This is the sub ledger. This is the GL, general ledger.
Okay.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is how it's linked.
Okay.
Okay. Whereas if you click the second line item here, it won't show that because this itself is a general ledger account.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Whereas because this is a GL.
GL. Okay.
This is the main GL, yeah?
Main GL. Okay.
Yeah, because this is coming from GL, but
Got
this
it.
is coming from AP because the
Okay.
vendor.
Got it.
Right.
Okay. So this
And
line is
that'll-
getting registered in AP. Okay, this line is registered in AR. Sorry, general ledger.
Yeah. We had
Whereas
linked it at that
here,
point. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
whereas here, there's no sub ledger. This is all posting in GL. Okay.
Got it.
This is GL line item, right? This is AP line item. This is GL line item. Make sense?
Makes sense. Yeah.
It does.
That's what it is. Now, I'm going to create like I said, I'm going to create a recon account. Okay, so my next recon account will be 90, I believe. Does not exist. I'm going to create it. So create it. This has to be a balance sheet account. Okay.
Yes.
And then account group would be, I'm not sure which one I choose. Let's see current liability. It is not taking in. Account group currently defines only this account group. So what should I do? Contingent liability. Let's do this guy here. No. Yeah, I mean, as a matter of fact, you would know this. No, this is liabilities. Okay, this account group is taking in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to create a recon. What should I do? Vendor or payables account. Okay, that's a payables account. I can group the vendors, right? So let's say government vendors. Now, very important thing here is for all the reconciliation accounts, the main thing here is you have to choose. Otherwise, system would not know. It's used for vendors, customer, assets, or contracts accounts receivable.
Okay.
This is where if you mention this, system will recognize as a recon account.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
vendor or
For
customer.
vendors. Okay.
Correct. Everything else is the same, but the big difference is this.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The rest all, it should be there by now. Field checker group. Yeah. You can choose,
What is
for
visible?
example,
Yeah.
suitable one. Yeah. Say the other receivables and payables, something I saw is here. Down payment proceed, down payment is made, other receivable payables. Okay. Save. Get off it. So now when I create a next vendor master data, I can use the GL account, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is what I want you to create a new recon account, new account groups, new customers, or new vendor. Okay.
Okay.
And then you can post invoices. Make sense? Assignment. Everybody has to do this. Okay.
Got it.
So we just need to one a recon account.
Yes, you have to create. Yes, create 3 account groups. Okay.
Okay.
Play around with the field status. Play around with field status. Okay. So first account group. Okay. Make hide customer field. Okay. Second account group. Hide entire tax information. Okay.
Okay.
Third account group. Make payment terms mandatory. Make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and then similarly, you do number ranges and all this stuff. Now create each group. So each 9 vendors. Okay. Each group 3. Post 9 invoices. Okay, and review W03, FPL 3N, FP1N, FK10N, and what else? Yep, yeah.
FS tenant.
Yes, good job. Thank you. Let's stand up. Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions? Everybody has to do this. Okay. You can send the video. Watch this video. Very simple, very detailed.
Yeah.
And then also review whatever we studied earlier. Otherwise, it's hard to move on. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
All right.
Any questions?
No.
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 All right. Then we see you on Monday.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Jay. All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Talk to you.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.